welcome everybody to our Facebook marketing training. I'm Bill Gluth, Director of Member Coaching Services for GPN and your host of the call. Now, just a couple of ground rules to cover before we begin. We're going to have everybody in Q&A mode, and we'll have a line open for questions during the call. So to ask a question, all you have to do is press *6, and you'll be put into the question and answer queue so we can call on you to ask your questions. So with that said, remember *6, you'll be in the Q&A queue, and then you'll be able to ask your question when we call on you. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, today we have a wonderful, knowledgeable guest who's going to tell us more about how to make Facebook profitable for our home business. Now, the man you'll be listening to today has been called the Napoleon Hill of network marketing. He's been involved in the industry for more than 25 years. He's the author of 2 books that have sold more than 1 million copies each, including the industry classic, The Greatest Networker in the World. One thing most people do not know about my guest, however, is that he was a pioneer of social media. Way back when, in the year 2000, 13 years ago, long before MySpace or Facebook, LinkedIn, or many other social media sites, this man had started the Greatest Networker community, where they had profile pages for all their members, and get this, everybody, they even called them face pages, complete with pictures and photo albums and contact info and personal and professional history, a section for family, homes, pets, pleasure. They even had people list their core values and their vision for the future, so pretty remarkable and certainly an early adopter in social media. But for me personally, I admire him for his dedication to making this industry more sane and stable. His ideas on get rich slow are accurate and really give people the true picture of how to build success in network marketing, which is consistently over time. So some call him the Napoleon Hill of network marketing because he's interviewed the best and most successful people in the business, just like Dr. Hill did. And so I'll tell you, that's no small feat if you've ever tried to set up people for an interview. So without any further acknowledgement, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome my guest, Mr. John Milton Fogg.
Thank you,
John?
sir.
Yes.
Oh, my.
Oh, the crowd's great to have you. Welcome, John. Thanks for joining us today. It's just great to be with you here.
I can't wait to tell them about the IPO, Bill.
There you go. It's coming soon, right? Well, let's get going.
Internet pioneer that I am.
There you have it. It's coming soon, folks. Stand by.
Change my name to John Foggerberg.
There you go. Well, let's get started because we got a heck of a lot of material to cover and a lot of great information to share. So, John, we know that everybody's touting Facebook is the place to be online, but for you, how did you get started in Facebook, and what led to the development of inter-network marketing in particular?
Internet marketing came before Facebook for me, Bill. You spoke about the Greatest Networker community. That's where that one grew up. And basically, it's just there's a wonderful name for this, which is like potpourri. It's a French thing, and I'm sorry that I don't remember it. But it's when you put a couple of words together. It's like motel is motor hotel. Well, internet marketing is that kind of combination. It's network marketing on the internet, and the way that I write that word out, it's capital I-N-T-E-R, capital N-E-T-W-O-R-K, inter-network marketing. And it was for people who were doing network marketing over the internet, which is what the Greatest Networker community was all about. As for Facebook, I must admit I fell into it. I had half a dozen weblogs, blogs, most people call them, different websites doing this and that. And people said, you got to be on Facebook, you got to be on Facebook, you got to be on Facebook, you got to be. And, I'll tell one out of school. I'm a recovering alcoholic, and long ago I learned when 3 people tell you you're drunk, lie down. And when about 20 people tell me I got to be on Facebook, I just went. Now, because I had a reputation, because I had a name, I collected a couple of hundred friends. I think I got up to 400 and some friends. When I got the message that Facebook was a powerful way to do business the way I had always said it could and should be done. Now, please remember, my context is always going to be network marketing. That's where I came from. That's where I still am. So if I err on the side of saying network marketing once too often, forgive me. That's what I do. Network marketing, 25 years ago, Bill, I was saying this business is about shipping and receiving. Relationshipping, friendshipping, partnershipping, and leadershipping. Do all those things really well, and you receive the rich rewards of this business. One of them's a good-sized check. Well, I have always said this business was relationship-based. And when I started saying that in the early 90s, I got laughed off the phones, the stages, everywhere. People pointed at me. They said, that's stupid. I remember one very well-known and very successful network marketer who, on a conversation on stage in front of a large audience, said, look, there's plenty of time to get into relationship once I get him in the business.
That's a different view.
Yeah, well, that was the way it was, Bill. And then slowly but surely, the network marketers started picking up on this is a relationship-based business. You can go network. One of my favorite guys in this business, a man named Jordan Adler, #1 guy at Send Out Cards. This is a man who, in his first 10 years in the business, was with 11 different companies, didn't sponsor one person. And Jordan now makes approximately $2 million a year. If it's not that high, he's so close it's not funny. And he does it all with relationships at networking events. You got to pull out of him that he's in a business. He wants to know who you are, how you are. Wife, kids, dreams, avocations, vocations, what do you do? And that's the approach that works on Facebook. And eventually the bloggers and the internet marketers and everybody started talking about relationships. And, God bless, my ego has a very mean bit and tight reins. So I didn't go running around saying, I said that before everybody. But I must admit, I get a big, huge smile on my face when I hear people stomping up and down about relationship business. It's relationship-based. You bet it is.
Hey, John, can I say something?
Yeah, let me just hit one thing, which is the summary answer to your question. I know we have limited time and I'm talking too much. That's what got me onto Facebook. Bill, and I applied myself, and within a year and a half, I had 5,000 friends instead of 400.
There you go. And I was just going to say, and just for everybody on the call and listening to the recording later, John Fogg did coin that relationship thing right in the very beginning, years and years before everybody else caught on. Thank you, John, for doing that.
So, well, I said it, Bill, I said it out loud, but the real people who mastered this business, they knew that. That's what they did. That's what they did. And that's what Facebook and marketing in it's social media. Hello, social media. It's social. And just in case you get a little confused about it, it's personal. I know some of the people listening to this call have been through very many personal growth and development workshops, and they've been taught, don't take it personally. Well, I'm telling you, on Facebook, take it personally and make it personal. That's what it is.
There you go. Well, excellent start to our call. So, John, as far as this Facebook marketing and inter-network marketing in particular, who is this strategy best suited for? Like, who should be using this? Who can use it the best?
I cannot be trusted to answer this question. and that's the truth, because I can't imagine anybody except the guy and gal who sells $4 million 30-second spots to people who advertise on the Super Bowl can't use Facebook, and I can even think of reasons why they should. I don't care what you do.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a dog breeder, a horse breeder, if you run a skin diving organization, if you're a network marketer, if you're in real estate, if you're insurance, if you sell Christmas ornaments, there is nothing that you can't help your business to do based on an active, personable, compelling attraction presence on Facebook.
Wow. Well, that's quite impressive.
And for GPN, it's perfect, because you guys, you go beyond waving a flag. I mean, you beat the drum, you march, you protest, you do everything. Look, this is nurturing people. This is relationship-based. And so for GPN people, this approach is perfect. And by the way, folks, we're talking Facebook. And Bill said, look, everybody's talking about Facebook. Well, there's a good reason for that, folks. If Facebook was a country, it would be the third largest country on this planet.
Wow.
67% of all Internet users. Please think about that. Let that settle into your brain just for a second. 67% of everyone using the Internet is on Facebook. Now, I've heard different figures splashed around, so I'm not going to gospel this figure I'm about to tell you, but I can promise you it's in the ballpark. 78% of Facebook users are on there daily. Compare that to Google+, which has 490 million users, not even half of Facebook's billion. And Google's in the 20s. 20% of the people are there. So amazing. Facebook is the single most active. And no, I am not saying, well, you're going to have 1 billion prospects. No, you're not. But you're going to have a lot of them. We've said, those of us who have been doing person-to-person, word-of-mouth marketing have said for years, look, all of us know 250 people, and those of us who are pretty well connected know 1,250 people. Well, on Facebook, you can be in touch with thousands, and please remember one of the many, many, many superb little deals that the Facebook technology gives you is those 250 people that you know that you're communicating with, they know 250. So now multiply that your 250 by their 250. And what number do you get? And when you're posting and you're being carried on their news feed and they respond, that goes out to their people. That's leverage, folks, and lots of it.
No question about it. I mean, huge, huge, huge. You know, John, we've got quite a few people on the call, and I'm sure at this point somebody may have a thought they'd like to share or a question. And if you do, please remember, all you have to do is press *6. You'll be put into the Q&A queue, and then we'll call on you right away. So at this point, does anybody have something they'd like to share? Is everybody getting what John's talking about and why this is important? I know I certainly am. Anyone at all? All right, not yet. Good, but we again, *6, and you'll be able to ask a question. Oh, we do have a question. Okay. Please go ahead, caller in the 619 area code. What is your question?
Hey, guys, this is Robert Clark in San Diego. And when you are receiving friendships or likes on your page, do you take that time to go ahead and write a thank you note? So I spend an inordinate amount of time today doing that. I just want to make sure I'm on the right track.
You're on the right track, and you got to be smart about it, Robert. And we're going to talk about that in just a minute. So
Excellent.
Hang on, and if you want to dig in to that question, when we get to it, dig, and because I want to show you. We're going to butterfly around here, and I apologize. It's not a sequential start here, do this, do that, because I just want to hit a bunch of the high points. Look, this is important, do this, do this. But you'll see how we do that, and you're on the right track. Just know that part.
Perfect. Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Good. And one other caller in the 902 area code. What is your question?
Hi, John. This is Ifo. I had a question about sort of, on some level, separating your Facebook in a way. Maybe like having like either like a page or something else.
Ifo, excuse me. For the sake of time, tell me if I'm right. Should you have a personal page and a business page? Is that where you're going?
Pretty much, yes.
Okay. No. Not at the start, and probably not ever. If you are an author, if you have a significant product or service line that you want to do and have a business page, Facebook used to call them fan pages, yeah, go do that, but not in the beginning. And the reason I say that is going back to what I said. It's personal, baby. It's personal. People on Facebook are buying you first. Then they're going to take a look at a product or a service or a this or a that you've got going on. Know, like, trust. First 3 rules of relationship marketing. So that's what you want to create on your page. Bill, I think it would be a great time to send people to my page right now. Can we do that?
Absolutely. That's what I was going to suggest. So we're going to get started here on the meat of the issue and talking about some of these strategies. So everybody go to your computer, go to facebook.com/John Milton Fogg, Fogg. So we're all going to go to facebook.com/John Milton Fogg. So meet us on over there, and that will get us going into our next little question here, which is, where does someone start when beginning to use this Facebook strategy, John?
Okay, let me give you a quick tour of the page and some background. And I'm going to give you some rules. They're laws of Facebook. Law number 1, these are not in order, but this is number 1 because it's the first one I'm talking about tonight. On Facebook, what you see is what you get. If the picture of me that you saw on this page was a guy with 119 body piercings on his face, purple spiked hair, and showing you one finger that's inappropriate to show you, you would know something about me. That's not what you see on my page. What you see on my page is an older guy with a big smile on his face. That's what you get. That's me. And one of the most important pieces of your Facebook page is this profile picture of you. You want that smiling. You want that open. I made a mistake with mine. I wear tinted glasses. You can't see my eyes so well. Please let the people see your eyes. The eyes are the windows of the soul. That is a cliche for a reason. Let people see the best shot at you they can get. If you're a sexy woman, get that picture. Be a sexy woman. If you're a man's man, do that. If you're a couple, and that's most important to you, a wife and a husband, husband and wife, get both of you up there, even on your personal page. If that's how you do business, if that's how you live your life, you're a couple first. If you're a huge family guy or gal, you can put a picture of your whole family on there. But make sure, I think, number 1, make sure they see you, your face, you're smiling, you're happy. People want to connect with, do business with, know people who are happy people. Number 2 is your cover picture. That's the big puppy in the background stretching across the top of the page. Couple of things about that. This is the Internet. The Internet responds most to what is new, in caps, all bold. It's why news, N-E-W-S, works because it's new. It changes daily. You don't have to change this cover picture every day, but you're crazy if you don't change it once a week. When you change it, within a minute or three, Facebook will put further down on your wall, this front page is called your wall, they will put a copy of that picture and they will say, John changed his cover picture. The moment that's there, you go make a comment. Now, what kind of picture do you use? All kinds. If you've got a hobby, if you've got travel, places you love, if your house, your grounds, your view, any of those things, if you're into horses, if you're into cars, if you're into martial arts, whatever, those are the kinds of pictures that belong on as your cover picture. What does not belong on your cover picture is an ad. Not an ad for GPN, not an ad for products, not an ad for a service. Don't do it. Keep that off of there. I'll tell you ways and teach you ways you can get that accomplished so much better. What you want are pictures that talk about you and that you talk about. Now, if you're on my page right now, you're looking at a fairly unmistakable picture of Brooklyn, New York. Wrong. Paris. The Eiffel Tower is right in the middle of it. Why? My wife and kids are in Europe. They went to Lithuania to visit my wife's parents. She's Russian. And my wife's sister's husband gave my wife and his wife 5 days in Paris for Valentine's Day. Here I am, all alone in Virginia, with my dog and my cat, freezing, and my wife is in Paris. That's fun. That's interesting to talk about. And so I change my cover picture the moment I hear that the girl's in Paris. I change my cover picture, I put it up there, and then in the comments, I talk about my wife is going to Paris, and, if you saw a picture of my wife, you'd know why I'm a little worried. Turning my wife, a sexy red-headed Russian, loose in Paris, that's, oh my goodness, got to be a great deal of trust in our relationship. Now, one of the other things is please have fun. I had fun going to Google, finding the picture I wanted of Paris that would fit in this frame, 600 by 200 pixels, and putting it up there. Part of what's great about working on Facebook is it's creative, it's fun. It's not some drudgery, boring kind of thing that you're doing. And you put that up there, and what's going to happen is people are going to comment about it. People are going to like it, and people are going to share it. Let's scroll down a little bit on this page. I want you to go down, scroll down on your screen until you see Will Smith. Won't take you long. Okay? John Fogg, 3 hours ago. Picture of Will Smith, and the quote is, "Being realistic is the most common path to mediocrity." Will Smith. Now, remember, I'm in a network marketing business. If you're doing this for GPN, you're inviting people to learn if there's a fit with them and a home-based business. And so you may want to craft a message which is similar to, look how I make this point. And this is part of what you really need to work on and get good at. So my point is, tired of earning realistic, mediocre money for your time and efforts? I'm ready to help one more person make unrealistic money working from home together with me in their own global internetwork marketing business. All right? Now, Facebook frowns upon making blatant pitches on your personal page. So you need to be subtle, you need to be helpful, you need to be encouraging. Here's the trick. And Robert, now we're in around your question. Look under Will's picture. You see like, comment, promote, share. On the opposite side, you see something that looks almost like a calendar with the page turned up and the number 4. Under that line, you see a thumbs up, and you see 3 people's names, and then it says, and 15 others like this. This is where you go to work, folks. If people make comments, you can make comments. Now, I did this post of Will Smith 2 weeks ago. I had 29 comments when I did it. I just put it back up this afternoon, mostly to demonstrate for you all what this kind of thing looks like. I've already got 15 comments. Here's the fun part. Take your cursor, go over where it says 15 others, and see what happens. All of a sudden, a pop-up menu comes up with a whole bunch of names on it. Click on 15 others, and in the middle of your screen will show up a pop-up window with their names, a statement usually of where they're from or who they are, and whether or not you're already friends. Now, if one of the things you want to do is grow your friends list, I'll teach you how to do that in just a second. But what this allows you to do now is contact any one of these people. 2 ways to do it. If you know them, just pass your cursor over their name. First one on my list is Lisa Yarborough. So I pass it over Lisa. It says Lisa Yarborough, CEO of Yes You Can, because I just did Inc. at Self. We're already friends, and I can just slide my cursor down and send Lisa a message. Here's the magic message. Lisa, thanks for liking my Will Smith post about earning unrealistic money from home. What is it you like best about it? Now, if Lisa wasn't already my friend, I'd put a PS. By the way, love to be a friend, or please accept my friend request. Boom. Facebook is very mean-spirited about people who go and just go collect friends, collect friends, collect friends. They don't want you really making new friends. It sounds crazy, I know, but it's the way it is. They're very concerned about spam and people being hustled. But when you say to Lisa, thanks for liking my post, what is it you like best about it? Lisa is not going to report you for scamming her and spamming her. So it's a very safe, solid, authentic approach that you're making with these people. You do this, Robert, this is for you. You do this with everybody. You do this with everybody who likes and everybody who shares. If you go under the picture and see where that little calendar is, it says, and hover over it with your mouse, it says show shares. Can't say that 5 times fast, can you? Show share, 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 share. And if you click on it, you'll get another pop-up, people who shared this. And then you go and you do the same kind of thing with that. Hey, Janet, thanks for sharing my Will Smith post about earning unrealistic income. Now, I always use the salient point of my post in my remark to them because it anchors it for them. It brings them back to the point I'm making most. And I want them to specifically tell me, what did they like most about that? So if you make a post about the growth of home-based business, that's what you want to ask about. This is attraction marketing. As I said about the picture you put up on your cover, one of the things you want to do is have fun with this. So you want to go searching around the internet for motivational quotes because people love them. Another thing to use, and I don't see very many people doing it, if you've got a neat sense of humor, if you're a funny gal or a funny guy and you love to laugh, put jokes up. Put humorous things up. People love them. Pictures of beautiful things and places that you love. It doesn't have to be business. It doesn't matter. What you're doing here is you connect first. You connect with people, and this is what you're doing. You're putting up a post that people connect with. They comment, they like, they share, and then you follow through with them personally. And it's a magic question, folks. What do you like most about that? And when they write back to you, and not everybody will, but I promise you the people you want to know will, you follow up with, what makes that important to you? Even if they say something like, oh, I just love Will Smith. What is it you love most about him? Engage is the second step. Connect, engage, and what you're on your way to doing is to enroll people in taking a look at whatever it is you're interested in. In GPN, you want them to take a look at having a consultation to help them find out if a home-based business is a fit for them. Let me stop, Bill.
No, there you go. No, I was just letting you go. You were rocking. It was great. Hey, John, we have a couple of questions in the queue. First one from Nurture Marketing Coach here at GPN, Rick Wendt. Rick, are you still with us? You should be ready to go. What's your question, Rick?
Hello, John. Thank you very much, and Bill, for putting on the call. My question is about if you're posting. It seems to me that Facebook has made a lot of changes lately, especially within the last month, and it used to be where you could just put a post and you put it out there and it showed up in everybody's news feeds. And now sometimes there's no rhyme or reason, I don't think, at least that I know of, on if it shows up in somebody's news feed or not. Do you think that matters at all, or do we just kind of post anyway? How do you handle that?
Number one, I'd say post anyway. And Facebook goes in, out, left, right, up, down in constantly making changes. What I do admire them about, Rick, is that they seem to almost always make changes for the better. They really are intent on keeping their noses clean, and even more, keeping your nose and my nose clean. And so if you stick with motivational posts, if you stick with great-looking pictures, if you are putting stuff up there that is interesting, this is the attraction marketing part. Now, I've got 4,890-some friends. I had 5,300 and some, and I had to get rid of a ton of people because I started in a new business, and I want to make room for my partners in my business and my people in my business. So I had to cut that down a little bit. But if you're at the level of a couple of hundred friends or a couple of thousand friends, one of your goals is to increase the number of friends. And the best way to do that is this strategy of using interesting, compelling stuff. I go to the motivational stuff, Rick, because I love it personally, and I think that's the most important thing. put up there what you like and love, because you're going to attract people who like and love the same things you do, and that's who you want to be talking to. You know, I don't want to be talking to some guy who kicks puppies for a hobby. I've got no interest in a person like that. But I've got an interest in people who think Will Smith is really cool and love this quote about being realistic is the most common path to mediocrity, or who'll get a kick out of the fact that my wife is in Paris without me, or who will see my two little girls up on my page laughing together while we're having a Skype conversation. I'm here in Charlottesville, Virginia, and they're in Klaipėda, Lithuania. Or I put a picture of my dog up there, my beloved 15-year-old schnoodle, and I'm going to get people who dig dogs. I may even find a couple of schnoodle owners. They're the people I want to connect with. And then if I was in building mode, friend-wise, I'd go back to them. I'd respond as I told you to. Hey, what did you like? Thanks for liking. Thanks for sharing. What do you like best about? And I'd get that. Now, when I go looking on my news feed, and there are other tricks which we'll be teaching you to do. For example, if I put a hyperlink in here of your name, Rick, then this Will Smith post, if I say, for instance, let's say you turned me on to it, or you and I had spoken once about Will Smith, or I saw Will Smith mentioned in a post you did. You admired that picture he did with his son, the movie he did with his son about the guy who was out of work for so long and stuck with it. You're out there making these connections, and it's so much fun to do. So I could put your name, or let's say it was Bill. I put Bill Gluth in there. The minute I write Bill or start his last name, Gluth, I'm going to get a drop-down blue box. If I click on that, bingo, his name is highlighted, and my post goes on his wall. Now, as long as I'm not being promiscuous and there's a method to my madness, I'm being respectful, he doesn't mind at all. And now Bill's people are seeing my post. And that's how you multiply stuff, especially, Rick, when people are sharing your stuff. You start to get good stuff on there, and you get to be known for good stuff on there. People keep coming back to you. They're looking for you. They're waiting to see what you do next. And I've been doing this well enough, long enough, so that now I've got people coming to me who said, I've been watching you for 2 or 3 months now. They want to talk to me about being in business with me. But they've been watching these posts. They've been seeing what I do. And one of the things I'm well known for and love to do, and every one of you can do, is share valuable content with people. So you can share your opinions, your political views, anything you want. If you're a highly spiritual person, don't be shy about sharing that on your page. If you want it filled up with quotes about Jesus Christ, or biblical quotes, or Buddhist quotes, that's who you are. Do it, because the Christians and the Buddhists and the Muslims are going to respond to you. And that's how you make those connections. Don't be afraid about the people who, if you do this, they won't like it. You don't want them there anyway.
Now, there's a good point. Hey, John, we have another caller in the queue with a question from the 604 area code. Caller from 604, what is your question for John?
Hi there. Well, thank you very much for this call, both of you. It's fantastic. I'm learning a ton, taking great notes. John, love the greatest networkers in the world. Just wanted to throw that out. Fabulous book. I'm a fairly new network marketer. You're welcome. I work with Linda Proctor, and I'm in Vancouver. My name is Mika. My question is, if I have already put a bunch of stuff on my Facebook page about the company that I'm with, in the new excitement and such, how do I balance between motivational quotes and stuff about me and asking questions and then inserting stuff about my business, or do I not do that at all?
I never mention the name of my company. I never mention it. You got to drag it out of me, girl. And I highly recommend you do the same. You don't have to. Now, I know Linda, and I know your company. I know who you're with and what you do. You don't have to go bragging on it. What you want to do with these motivational quotes, what you want to do, you've got to be thoroughly up to your neck in health, right? Health and nutrition, yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So are you interested enough in health and nutrition to go find great articles, neat websites, killer videos, not about your product necessarily, but about what your product does, the benefits, the challenges that it addresses, breakthroughs in various ingredients? Does that interest you?
Absolutely.
Great. That you want to sprinkle that on your page. You can also brag on your page. Brag about what you've done, especially important, brag about your people. Linda Proctor is one of the greatest networkers in the world. Brag about her. She's extraordinary. And forgive me for sounding so horribly mercenary, but take Linda to the bank. She is well known. She's Bob's wife. She's your partner. So, as my partner says, all of those kinds of things. What I love to see and do is a mix of you're going to see about my kids, you're going to see about where I travel, you're going to see about my likes, the latest book I read, the thing I just bought on Amazon that I'm head over heels in love with, the Saigon cinnamon that I like now more than any other cinnamon out there, and I tested the Ceylon cinnamon and the Chinese cinnamon. I'm going to put all that stuff up on my page. Because that's what's interesting to people. Now, on your page, you want to be interesting. When we get to the most important part, which I think Bill is going to trigger next, these are the conversations. This is where the rubber meets the road. The rule and the game changes. On your wall, you want to be interesting. When you get into the message conversations and connecting with people, interesting goes out the window. You want to be interested, not interesting.
Well,
you want to be interested in them. And if you take that strategy that I briefly and all too quickly ran over, where we say, hey, what did you like best about that post, Linda? And what makes that important to you? When you come back to me with a thoughtful answer, if you come back with a one-word answer and I ask you again and another one-word answer and I ask you something again and another one-word answer, I ain't doing any more with you. You don't want to play. I'm not wasting my time or yours. But if you give me a couple of thoughtful answers pretty quick, I'm going to go check out your page. I'm going to find out who you are. Linda, tell me real quick, where do you live? You still with us?
Yeah, no, actually, John, I moved her out of the queue, so we had some other questions, and I didn't want to run over.
Let's say Linda lives in Altoona, Pennsylvania. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be in that message, and I'm going to say, Linda, I went to your page. I see you live in Altoona. What's so cool about Altoona, PA for you? What do you like best about Altoona, PA? Because no matter what I ask you about, the Pittsburgh Steelers, where you live, anything, and I'll find this out on your face page. It's like you're giving me a resume of who you are, I see pictures. I see posts. I know a tremendous amount about you that I can connect with. And we're going to connect. We're going to get in relationship, and we're going to move that to a friendship. How does it get to be moved to a friendship? Because I am asking questions about your favorite subject, you. And now we're in friendship. And from a position of friendship, I can know whether or not you're a fit, you and I together are a fit, and you may be a fit with my proposition. You may be a fit for somebody who's looking for a home-based business.
There you go. And leading right into that conversation, for people on the call now that are not part of the GPN community and knowing that we empower people's home businesses by offering a free consultation that actually helps them to see if home business would be a good fit for them. So in that context, John, what about these conversations? Can you elaborate a little bit more on that? I know conversations, talking is such a strong suit of yours, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. What about conversations on that regard, John?
Bill, I'm telling you, it's almost embarrassing how hard it is to talk about. It is so hard. I mean, it's the hardest part of what I do with my people, is to teach them how to have the conversations. And there are so many mistakes that people make. Number one, they don't listen. People do not listen. And that's the most important role you have in the conversation. First, two things you want to do. Learn to ask questions and listen. Tony Robbins has a great line. Said, ask lousy questions, you get lousy answers. Ask great questions, you get great answers. You want to ask questions, positive questions. What do people like most? Why did they appreciate? What is so interesting? Things like that. And you can start with, where do you live? What do you like best about where you live? You can find it on their profile page. What do you like best about living there? Here's why you go there. They're going to tell you about their values. What's most important to them in their lives. And what you want to know first is not how much money they want to make, not how many debts they have. You want to learn who and how they are as human beings. It's personal. That's where you start. And I know you will hear my critics, and if you do this, they will become your critics. And they will tell you, you don't have time for that. You're wasting time. Well, I'm going to be real arrogant and tell you flat out, they're wrong. I've proved it. The people I'm coaching and counseling who are on my team, in my businesses with me as partners, they're proving it too. You find out who and how these people are. That's the only way you can offer them what it is you've got in a way that meets their needs and wants. It's kind of crazy to go pitching somebody on retirement who's in their 20s. Kind of nuts pitching somebody on paying their kids' way through college whose kids have already graduated. And those are simplistic statements, examples, but they'll give you an idea. You want to know who these people are because you want to know what they want. You want to know what they think their strengths are. You're looking for a fit. That's your agenda. One of the biggest mistakes I watch people make, and maybe they're not doing this in GPN, but boy, do they do this in network marketing. They ask 3 questions, and then they hit them with the business. They just smack them right away with the business. They are not willing to be patient. Now, I'm the guy that wrote a book called Get Rich Slow. And I wasn't talking about the result. I was talking about the process. be willing to take the time to get to know these people a little bit. And I mean really. If you're dealing with somebody, let's say, I'll let me say it from my own perspective, please. I'm a network marketer. How much time can I invest in a man or woman who is potentially capable of making me $1,000 a week, or $5,000 a month, or $10,000 a month? Is it okay if I spend 20 minutes with them? Is it okay if I spend half an hour? Can I spend an hour in 6 10-minute chunks with them? You bet I can. And I can't tell from this side of the deal whether or not I'm talking to a $1,000 person, a $100 person, a $100,000 person. I have no idea. And part of my job is to be their partner and have them become that if that's what they want. But I got to know what they want first. You use the message function of Facebook and any other social media platform that has a message function to get in, learn about them, be in conversation, and then when you are solid with them, when you are in friendship with them, you can always say to a friend, hey, I think you'd be perfect for this. Whether that's an invitation to a consultation to learn about home-based business or anything else you've got to offer, to serve people. From the platform of friendship, you can say, hey, will you give me 5 minutes, 10 minutes, go to a website? The marvelous phrase that a guy named Eric Warre came up with called If I Would You. If I can show you how you can achieve, this is what, I was coaching one of my people, and he was telling me about this lady he was working with, and here's what I wrote him back, and here's what he wrote back to her, and it worked perfectly. Okay, here's the deal. Name withheld by whatever. Okay, here's the deal. If I promise to show you a way you can achieve those things you're after, changing lives by saving lives for a living, from home, when you want, the way you want, would you take an open and honest look at how we can do that together? Bam, if you're in friendship with that person, that offer is going to get a yes. And you're off and running. And the thing, when I say off and running, the next step is get them off Facebook. Get them on the phone.
There you go. Excellent advice, John. Hey, John, we have a caller with a question that may be real relevant to what we're talking about here right now. So I'm going to open up the line for Bill Calhoun. Bill, what's your question for John?
Well, John, thank you so much for being part of our GPN community. I've got sort of a two-part question. First, I made the mistake of opening up a fan page that I've got about 50 likes on, and my personal page I've got about 1,000 friends, so I need advice about what to do with the fan page. But the second issue for me is I've been posting my encouragements in the status section, not in the comment section. I guess I've been doing that wrong, huh?
Not necessarily. It's a mixed bag, and you're going to have to test that out to see what your people do with it. If you post it in the status section, it will follow the picture, and always, folks, use pictures, use pictures, use pictures. I've got a wonderful quote about you can take all the sincerity in it's a takeoff on a gentleman named Oscar Levant, who was an old wit, my parents' age. You can take all the sincerity in Hollywood, put it in a flea's navel, and still have room for 2 sesame seeds in an agent's heart. Now, it's a great quote if you like that kind of thing, but all by itself, it's black and white words. So I went on to Google, I found myself a great picture of a flea, and I used the image. Facebook is visual. Facebook is visual. Facebook is visual. Rule number 1, 2, 3. So number 1, you want to attach a picture with that, with whatever quote or offer you do. Now, if you put your remark in the status section and somebody shares it, it will follow the picture. If you put it underneath in the comment section, it won't. You've got to play with that a little bit. Now, let me go back to your first question, Mr. Calhoun, and that is, what do you do with your with your fan page? Let it be for now. Don't pay any attention to it. Go to work on your profile page. Make that thing jump and vital and hot and sexy and rock and roll. Make it cool. Make it a place people want to check out. Make it great. Then go mess with that fan page again. I think you'll find you won't even need it.
Okay. Cool.
Good. Interesting.
Now, I wouldn't give that advice to Randy Gage. I wouldn't give that advice to Tom Schreider. These guys have books and seminars and. They can use a fan page. But even me, John Milton Fogg, author, 4 books, millions of blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I want to build relationships with individual people because my business right now is network marketing. And if you're in GPN, you want to get these people, you want to have these people enrolling in consultations to help them. Actually, you're in a service business. And the core of a service business is to serve. So aim your page toward that. Serve people with your page. Your Facebook page will adapt itself to any personality you want to offer. Now, whether the world is ready for you or not, I can't tell you. But what I say is be yourself, put your best stuff out there, and let the chips fall.
Good points, John. Good ideas. Hey, we have another question from the 623 area code caller. And
Bill, forgive me for sounding like a secretary, but we're a couple of minutes prior to 9. Are you good on time?
We're going to run over, and everybody's just having so much fun and engaged. I think if we run 15 or 20 minutes over, no one's going to really mind.
Okay, well, am I going to get paid overtime?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, good. 623 area code. Ask your question quick. It's costing us money here.
Hey, John, it's Jim Pittman calling from Phoenix. How you doing?
Good, Jim.
Hey, quick question. Looking for some practical advice using the message system in Facebook, and I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but I'm curious if you've had a similar challenge of, it seems like after initial notifications show up that I've got messages, if I don't actually go to the messages right away, the notification on the status bar may go away, and I've had trouble in the past where I've missed the fact that people have sent me messages, and I have to dig down to find them. Does that make sense? Have you experienced that?
No, I haven't. If you go what I do, number one, I've got people on the side, on my right-hand side. I can see who's online and who's not. And, frequently I just kill that because where I want to go is click my home page, and on the upper left of my home page is my messages. I click Show All on my messages, and and that's got an elevator on it, so I can move them up and down. And one of the beautiful things about Facebook, and thank you for bringing this up because I hadn't mentioned this. I don't know about the rest of you, but I suck at taking notes. I can't listen to people. I can't write and make notes and keep organized like that. like organizing my prospects? Oh, God. That's horrible. The thought even scares me. However, Facebook keeps a record of every conversation you have. And so if you talk to some guy a month ago and he comes back across your radar screen, you just go into the history of that message and you can rattle your mind. Oh, yeah, this is the guy with the 6 kids who goes skiing in all that stuff is all there. So, no, I don't encounter any problem with that. I don't know what to say to you other than if you and I were working together, or, give me a call, hit me up tomorrow. I'll go look at it with you and see if I can figure it out. Sometimes I can.
Excellent, John, excellent. Well, this has just been such great information, and everybody who started on the call, the majority of people are still with us. And I know, that these people listening to you and all of these great ideas and, notes upon notes upon notes, I know if their tablet looks like mine, there's a lot. So, I know, though, that people on our line today are asking themselves the same question. Is there some way that John Fogg could take me by the hand and show me how to implement this strategy effectively right now? And I also know that you have a great idea for the listeners on the call to work with you directly. So how can you tell us about your upcoming Internetwork Marketing Training Program?
Well, actually, I'd rather you tell them because you're better at that than I am.
Okay, well, very good.
What we agreed to do with Denny and the people at GPN and led by Bill is to put together a teleseminar, and we've got a couple of different choices of levels of how you can get involved depending on what you need, what you really want to accomplish. But we're going to do a 4-session, 60 to 90-minute teleseminar. Some of the stuff I went over tonight we will go over again, but repetition creates internalization, and that's a good thing. And we're going to dig down deeper into, okay, how do I do this? How do I do that? And the most important element of that, which is the one we gave the least time to tonight and is the hardest to talk about, is how do you have these conversations, these messages back and forth, the asking, the answering, asking questions. I'll tell you, one of the rules about messaging is the one who asks the most questions wins. That's flat out. That's the game. You want to become masterful at asking the right questions. And when I say right, I mean positive, affirming, questions that build energy. I know some of you probably went to sales school and you learned about a thing called stir the pain. Find out somebody's problem and stir the pain. On my hands and knees, I beg you, don't do that. Don't do that.
Well, excellent
yeah,
program.
you want to find out what people's dreams and aspirations are, what they really want in your life, and you want to honestly and authentically offer them your help if you can help. If you can't help, shut up. If you can't help, don't try. But if you can help, man, that's what you're here for. That's the game.
Excellent.
So,
and
I'm sorry.
No, that's totally fine because, there's so much value, so many great things that people can learn at this course. So everybody that's over on Facebook right now, go with me over to gpncenter.com/John Fogg, Fogg. So again, that's gpncenter.com/John Fogg, Fogg, and see what John and GPN has put together for you to help you to finally get set up and use Facebook to generate leads effectively. So, John, you're saying that not only are you going to show them how to set it up, how to make the post to attract people, how to have conversations, know what to say and when to say it, and how to be credible. And yes, I agree with you. Please beg the people not to do those sales techniques and all of that stuff. So all of that's included. So if you go over to the page, gpncenter.com/John Fogg, you'll notice all of that, much more is going to be included. And there's 3 options that you can choose from to select the training method and option that works best for you. So first on that page, you'll notice you can choose 4 60 to 90-minute weekly group coaching calls with John Fogg right there at your side, showing you what to do in a group, together creating this dynamic to accomplish your Facebook business building strategy, plus a valuable resource library of selected materials, regular $199 for special GPN price for the teleseminar, $99. But John, earlier today we talked about that valuable resource library, and I think it's amazing. Definitely let the people know, what are we talking about on this valuable resource library of selected materials in option 1?
Bill, it's going to sound like I'm wiggling, but I'm not. It's basically anything I got. Anything I have created or collected in 25 years.
Wow.
When it's germane, when it matters, articles, audios, videos, programs, this, that, all of those things. The minute something shows its face as being important. For instance, one of my guys on my team yesterday said, well, in terms of listening, people can hear you, but if they disagree with you, they didn't really listen. I said, whoa, wait a minute. Agree and disagree is not part of listening. Listening is listening. It's unattached to the outcome. Whether somebody agrees with you or disagrees with you is not the point. The point is you're listening, really, truly listening to the words and the music. Now, I have an article that Richard Brooke, who wrote Mach 2 with Your Hair on Fire, wrote a number of years ago, which is a superb piece on agree, disagree, and which one of those two is most valuable for our learning. Turns out it's disagree. Agree just means you say yes to what you already know, but the value is in what you disagree with. Try it on. See what's so about it. Learn from it. So, bam, I'm going to give that article to my people. I'm going to do the same thing in these teleseminars. And one other point, the teleseminars really will be taking you by the hand. We will create a group, a closed private group on Facebook, and you will have a message. What we'll do is we'll look at pages on Facebook, but you will all have your message area open so that we can do role plays, ask questions back and forth, and we'll be able to rock and roll interactively with each other in this program. And there's an option in there I want to explain. Is it appropriate to do now the more one-on-one stuff, Bill?
We're actually going to go to that next, but before we went there, so everybody can stay on track with this, option 1, the 4 60 to 90-minute weekly group coaching calls with John, taking you by the hand, showing you exactly what to do and help you set it all up, that starts on next Tuesday, February 26th, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time, and continuing for the next 4 weeks in a row. So John will offer you his inter-network marketing course to the listeners of the call starting on Tuesday, February 26th at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. So step by step, as if John was sitting right next to you every step of the way. That is option 1. The only way I can see anybody would not benefit from that is one of 2 ways. Either they don't attend, which, okay, or they don't follow your clear and concise direction. In knowing you, John, I can tell everybody, I vouch for you, John's direction is concise and clear and actionable. So option 1 allows you to learn from John directly, one-to-one, in a group setting. Now, moving on to the next option you see, option 2, 4 monthly one-to-one coaching calls with John Fogg for 3 months, a total of 12 training calls, all available for you. John, do you want to elaborate on that option 2? I know that's powerful, one-to-one with you, unbelievable.
Well, I'm a little confused by the 4 monthly coaching calls. That means that's ballpark a call a week. Is that how that's set up?
A call a week for 3 months, 12 training calls. That's right.
Okay. The biggest challenge that I've seen is teaching people how to have the conversation. And so far, I cannot find, I've got some technologies that we're going to be using in the basic course, a thing called Call Partnership, which will really, it'll do a tremendous thing in terms of helping you refine your skills of speaking and listening, asking questions, and really being able to listen to people. But I haven't found anything that replaces that one-on-one, sit there with you, whether we're doing cut and paste, whether we're doing role plays together, back and forth. That's the way I know that's best to teach people. Unfortunately, it is time intensive. You've got to be there in real time and do it. That's why it costs what it does. But if you are interested in getting to a real functional level of mastery with this stuff, that's what you really want to take a look at. And one of the things, please to remember, is on all of this, my goal, I'm a really good teacher. And how I know I'm a really good teacher is what my end result always is. And that is that you get rid of me as fast as you can. I firmly believe in the old axiom that started from the Bible. You can give a man a fish and you fed him for a day. You can teach him how to fish and you fed him for a lifetime. Or you can teach a man how to teach other people to fish and you can feed the world. That last one is the one I come down on. I want you, when you're finished with me, I want you to be able to turn around and teach your people. The people in your network that you're bringing together, I want you to be able to teach this to them.
Excellent. Well, and one-to-one with you. I mean, unbelievable. So, I mean, certainly compelling. And then we did create a third option as well, so where we get both the weekly group coaching with John, the 4 weekly group coaching calls, and the 3 months of one-to-one coaching with John direct, the absolute, what can I say, the pièce de résistance of this training. Excellent, John. It's so generous of you because I know, personally how busy you are. So as far as anybody who's listening to the call right now, everybody, you can pre-register for the Inter-Network Marketing course with John, and then select the payment option that you would most work with you, and then we will contact you to finish up that payment because we had a little bit of a processing problem with our processor here today, unfortunately. But I know there might be some people on the fence, not quite sure which way would be best for them, that sort of thing. So what would you might suggest to somebody who's, kind of on the fence, can't decide which option would be best for them?
Send me a message on Facebook. I'll talk to you about it. I do not do manipulation or arm twisting. I just don't. It doesn't work. Honesty is the only place to go. My job is to find out if it's a fit for you, yes or no. So you can trust me or not. I highly recommend you do. One of the things I made 2 promises to everybody in my network organization. I will make this promise to everybody on this call, everybody looking at these courses. Number 1, I will never lie to you. Number 2, I will never have you do anything that is not in your best interest. I live by that. It's a code. Facebook Samurai. Something like that. Facebook Warriors.
There you go. Well, geez, John, that's so generous of you. And I know people are kind of looking over, again, the group training of Internetwork Marketing is going to start next Tuesday, February 26th, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific, for everybody on the call that's interested in the group training. Now, John, while everybody's kind of looking over the options and deciding which is best for them and putting in their pre-registration request, we have a couple of questions yet on the line.
Bill, can I interrupt you with one question?
Sure.
I'm getting a lot of emails and some Facebook messages with people saying, I just got this. I couldn't be on the call. Is it recorded? Is there some way, Bill, that people who have not been able to hear this call can hear it?
There absolutely is, John. What we're going to do for everybody on the call and for everybody else, we're going to post a recording of this call. That'll be live on the GPN blog, which you can find by going to gpncenter.com and clicking the link that says blog. We'll have this recording posted, and then, John, what should we do? I'm going to suggest that we go tell everybody on Facebook that we posted the recording, and then everybody will know. So watch for John, Bill Gluth. Look me up, Tribe That Ended Unemployment on Facebook, and certainly we're happy to help you find the recording and also help you with any of the options that might be of interest to you. So
when you post it, make sure you use a really great picture. I'll post a great picture on my page along with the announcement of that call. You can share it, and you can try out the things I've been saying tonight and see how they work.
There you have it. So that's what we will do. We'll put our action where the teaching is here today. So that's our recording. Now, caller in the 414 area code, if you're still with us, what was your question for John? 414 area code? Okay, not with us now. And we have one other question right now in the queue. Caller in the 330 area code, 330. Would you have a question for John you'd like to ask?
Yes, John, this is Bruce Humphreys in Ohio.
Hey, Bruce, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Good program, John.
Good to hear your voice, man.
For you, what do programs or games like Farmville and Mafia Wars have to do with all this?
For me, nothing.
Me
either, nothing.
So you don't tie those into any of this as far as social networking?
I don't. That's the emphasis, Bruce. Hold on, listen. I don't. Now, if you're a game player, what a great place to meet people. You start playing games. Now, I don't know how they work, Bruce, so you're going to have to give me some space here because I just don't take the time. I just don't take the time to do that. But if you're a game player with Farmville or Gold Fandango or whatever else is going on, and they've got groups of people together, one thing we didn't talk about is what's a strategy to build your friends and make more connections. Groups are the perfect place, as well as business and fan pages. Go find people who you share interests with, get into relationship with them. Don't hit them over the head with your offer. Get to know them. Find the folks you really resonate with and you like. Start a relationship. And I can promise you eventually, after you say to them, hey, Bruce, what are you doing now? And they answer, and you're curious, and you ask some more, and you ask some more, they're going to come back around and say, by the way, John, what do? Off you go. It's so natural and organic and easy if you just are willing to keep your guns in your holster, shut your mouth about that, get to know people, connect with them. You can connect with people heart to heart in a matter of minutes. I'll show you how to do it.
There you have it.
In other words. Right?
Say it again, Bruce.
Ask great questions.
Ask great questions. There's a key. Thanks, buddy. It's good to hear your voice.
You too, John. Thank you.
Thanks, Bruce. Well, John, what a great call. My goodness. I mean, I learned so many things today, and I know everybody appreciates it. Again, for everybody on the call, the Option 1 group training with John Fogg on inter-network marketing, you can pre-register for it today. It starts on the 26th, 8 o'clock Eastern, and then tomorrow we will have the recording posted, and then John and I and everybody else we can find will be sharing it, so please watch your Facebook feed. Check out John Milton Fogg on Facebook and stay connected with us. We'll have that up for you, so if you missed part of the call or want to hear it again, it'll be available for you. So, John, thank you so very much for your generosity of time, generosity of your information and sharing it. I know I can speak for everybody when I tell you how appreciative we are. Thank you so very much.
Well, you're very welcome, and you've heard me say before, Bill, it's MP3 for me. My pleasure, my passion, and my purpose. This is what I live for. I love doing this. And I just thank you deeply, you, Denny, the other people at GPN, and especially all of you listening, man. You didn't have to be here. You know, you got to get your commitment to be on this call is such a testament to who you are and what you can create. I appreciate you very much. Thank you.
And thank you, John. And for everybody on the call, just as a reminder, to find out the options for your inter-network marketing training, the best option for you, working with John Fogg directly, implementing all of these strategies we talked about tonight, go to gpncenter.com/John Fogg, John, John, Fogg, Fogg, all one word, and check it out. Come join us. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. John, thanks again. Till next week, and when the training starts, we'll look forward to that as well. But thanks again so much, John, and thank you, everybody, for being on the call. Hope you got a lot of value from it. Thanks so much.
You are very welcome. Thanks, Bill. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Thanks, everybody. Good night.